Well, the Red Army, actually, it started in the 60s, but we didn't really know it as the Red Army. I'd say it all began when the skinheads come out, 68, 69. We called them the baldies, or the boneheads. But once they were skinheads, and the Stretford end had all the skinheads, it was en masse everywhere. The actual truth is the football itself was a bag of shite. Because the Red Army was so big, and there was Cockney Reds and Coventry Reds and Carlisle Reds, whatever, when we become a bit more organised, so you became more international, I suppose. There's a lot of hooligans or thugs all over Britain who couldn't really latch onto their local team, and they just followed the Red Army, and they just became as much a part of the Red Army as the Collyhurst or the Ancoats lads, whether they're from Coventry or Carlisle, you know. I mean, we'd all just left school working on Smithfield Market, and we were like porters, working class lads at the end of the 60s. They had a bit of a shout in it because it'd been the flower power, the free easy love, the mods had been there, but we could just go and get your old man's braces, your granddad's t-shirt, 3-button, pair of bobber boots, cheap second-hand ones from the Army and Navy stores, and off you went. You know, you could make a stamp on society. So I think it was the inner city working class lads were able to join in on something that was part of a revolution. It was all about taking the other people's ends. That's what it was all about, all the way into the 70s, really. That's when the Red Army's name was huge, yeah. And it carried on a little bit more, and it seemed to change around 77 when we went to Europe. Because at that time, when we went to Europe, punk was out, but actually we were Perry boys. We had a little bit of a fashion theme going there with the Ferry flicks, the Fred Perrys, obviously. We used to wear like Levi drain pipes with All Stars, thinking we was cool. But when we come back from France 77 after the SEM, we'd helped ourselves to lowish jeans, cords, semi-flares, kickers, Lacostas, cardigans, and then there was a change. So from being the Perry boys coming into the 80s, it started to get a bit more organised, and it was the intercity jibbers that became our crew. So every newspaper on Sundays, you knew the papers had it, but you wanted the locals to, you know, sort of tremble in fear that the Red Army's here again. By the time the Red Army specials rolled into town, it was the police couldn't even cordon it off. You just burst through the police ranks, and they tried their best, and it was exciting time, to say the truth. And I must say, I mean, I've been arrested quite a lot of times in that time, and all the courts would do would give you 20, 30 pound fines and stuff like that. It was very rare. You'd need to go to court 5, 6, 7, 8 times before they'd think about sending you detention or Barstow, which is where we all ended up anyway. But we ended up in Barstow for our criminal activities, which we used the Red Army as like a cover. Well, the look then was, we had Lacosta tops, cardigans, the Lois, the cords, the semi-flares, the kickers, kicker boots, kicker shoes, and threw away the Dunlop greens. But basically, the intercity jibbers were all ex-Barstow boys. There was a say, they'd come out of Barstow around 76, 77, 78, and it was a perfect time for all these Barstow lads to, knowing that with the intercity jibbers you'd be travelling away and into Europe. If you got in trouble and you ended up in court, so you wouldn't be going to jail. Whereas if you stayed on your own patch and carried on doing what you was doing, you'd just be doing Barstow, more Barstow, and heavy prison sentences. So there was a green light to travel away, rob, and it's not as dangerous while she was robbing in Europe, especially Holland, Germany and France. No, saying France, certain parts of France are as bad as certain parts of Spain. But Luxembourg with England, there's another one. You know, places like that, it was... if you did get prison, you'd be out within a few weeks. I'd say it come to an end 85 when I moved after we beat Everton, stopped another Scouts treble. Around 84, 85, I'd say that's when it had come to the end.
Well, Leeds United have made no comments on those chants.
Young Munich was, when we got United, everyone used to sing Munich, didn't they, to United, Munich. So United, we just thought, right, we'll go into them, yeah? As Munichs. That was us. Every time we went into a fight, yeah, we was singing Munich, man. And they didn't know what the fuck happened. They didn't know who we was, where we come from, yeah? It was all in the state, yeah? You know what I mean? So, the inner city jibbers was coming through, they was already, so you already looked up to them, yeah? So, that's the way it was. You wanted to be one of them. Going Man United, and being in the firm. It regrouped after we all got raided and all that, so all the raids collapsed. Then we all just regrouped, and then we was a major firm then. We just went anywhere. We've done the business everywhere, yeah.
See now the police and what appears to be a section of the Manchester United support involved in a really, really vicious skirmish.
They said there was about 2 firms, yeah, and that was it. On my side, yeah, there was the Munichs, Young Munichs, and the Men in Black. We just all started wearing black to the match, yeah. Coming out advantage there when the old bill come. No one knew who he was. We come from everywhere. We didn't know who he was.
You can see the Manchester United crowd there, and at this point the friction starts.
Even Roma, they come to Old Trafford at the end there, swinging, you know what I mean, doing anything they wanted, but United just took them at the end.
These are quite disturbing images. There are 1 or 2 supporters who've received some extremely serious looking injuries.
We was just untouchable then. That firm was the bollocks, man.
It's February 2010. Chelsea against Cardiff in the FA Cup 5th round brings together 2 of the most feared hooligan firms in the UK. The Chelsea Headhunters and Cardiff's Soul Crew, who square up not far from Stamford Bridge.
First of all, you're not just talking about Chelsea and Cardiff, you're talking about England and Wales. It's a category C game, so I've been told